Veterans Voice is a show that connects veterans and active members of the military to qualified guests who help you find programs and benefits you qualify for and discuss housing, education, career training, and other topical matters. Every show addresses issues that affect your life. Each week, Veterans Voice will begin with a story from one of our veterans about his or her experiences in the military. We want to thank these veterans for sharing these stories with us. Call in and share your experience. 781-837-4900. And now,
Welcome, everybody. Greg Brasso, your host of Veterans Voice Radio, here on a rather auspicious Thursday night as we're getting kind of some funny weather now, and it's almost the time of the year where kids are thinking about going back to school, and now everybody's thinking about going back to work. And tonight we're going to be breaking some new ground here in the Veterans Voice. Through the wonders of technology, we've got some very interesting people out on the West Coast that we're going to be introducing. But before we do, we want to thank Charlie Duquette for helping to arrange this. Charlie is Veterans Coordinator with Veterans Inc. out of Worcester, has been a long-time partner and co-host of the show. And Charlie has set us up tonight with a group that bears no introduction, but I might as well introduce everybody anyways. But I think, Charlie, are you on the air with us right now?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Over.
Oh, Charlie, you're sounding great, buddy. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Can you see my image by now?
Oh, we can, Charlie. Oh, boy.
Scary.
Oh, scary is
Charlie,
right.
Can you get your money back on the Extreme Makeover? They gave me my money back. I can get your money back.
I'm the guy with the beard. No, that's the other Extreme Makeover.
Uh-oh, this is a family show, dude.
This is a family show. But here, without further ado, calling in, or zooming in rather, from the West Coast is a couple of new friends to the Veterans Voice Network. And we have Billy Knapp. Thank you so much for being out there and helping us tonight. You want to introduce yourself for us, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Hope everyone's having a great evening. Pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me. My name is Billy Knapp. I am the military program manager for Amazon's workforce staffing team. I'm based out of Seattle, and prior to working for Amazon, I was in the Marine Corps from 2005 to 2014.
Oh, so we have. Oh, there's the connection.
Oh, that's it. That's Charlie and him. The Marines all want to stick together, but I want to know when they get some bullets.
Oh.
Charlie, did you get any bullets yet?
They're on back order, but Amazon can deliver them overnight.
Yeah, they're overnight, no problem.
Same day delivery, from what I understand, huh?
On target.
Billy, you got to be thick-skinned to be on this show. You got to wear your helmet.
I have it actually right behind me. I can go pull it off the wall.
There you go.
Very good, Billy. And you have Laura with you, I understand, Billy?
No, I'm actually just by myself today. We have Courtney listening in. She works with me alongside me, but she's just going to be listening in. So, again, just stuck with myself today.
Oh, Billy, that's all right, kid. Thanks for joining us tonight. And, boy, we're seeing a lot of interesting things going on in the world right now with the COVID and all of that. But, boy, look at what's going on with Amazon these days. Billy, you guys are really growing by leaps and bounds, aren't you?
Yeah, Amazon's a great organization. Very proud to be a part of this team, and even more proud to be working in a role where I can support fellow veterans. Very passionate about helping other veterans and military spouses, for that matter, with finding the employment that they're looking for.
Well, and you have quite a veterans population within Amazon, do you not?
We have quite a large population. You're absolutely right. Actually, a few years back, Jeff Bezos, our CEO, made a pledge and a commitment to hire 25,000 veterans over the period of several years, and can proudly say that today we have over 30,000 veterans working within the organization. And
Wow.
you know, we feel very strongly about bringing military veterans and military spouses into Amazon. They provide great value. They're great team players, team leaders. And so, again, we feel very strongly that the military community provides great value to us. And we feel strongly about that, yeah.
Well, and Billy, you have a multitude of various job offerings that you might have. So I would think that based on the veterans' inkling or wants and desires, you could fill almost every job title from A to Z, and maybe some letters that haven't even been invented yet.
Actually, for our veterans, although I focus specifically rather on hiring and supporting the hiring of our entry-level positions within Amazon, you're absolutely right. We have veterans filling a wide variety, multitude of roles across the entire organization and across all lines of business, whether it's in operations where I work, in our fulfillment network, whether it's in our cloud computing business for AWS, you name it. Veterans are there doing great work and really being the leaders that they know how to be.
Well, and so you really, it seems like Amazon is truly committed to hiring veterans, and with 30,000 employed, that's quite a large number. But Billy, you're looking to add some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And specifically to the Boston and New England area in general, proud to say that over the next several weeks, we are looking just in general to hire hundreds of individuals within our entry-level associate roles. And, of those roles, we really do want to encourage veterans and military spouses to take a look at some of these positions as a great way to get their foot in the door with an amazing organization.
No question. And what type of roles would you be hiring, Billy? What exactly would you want to get a little bit specific so that people might tune into something that that you might mention that might suit their fancy?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I do focus on the positions at workforce staffing support, and those being our hourly positions. There are warehouse positions. There's a multitude of different roles that an individual can fill within our warehouses, whether it's one of our larger fulfillment centers or some of our smaller locations. And then also, with our acquisition of Whole Food Market in the last several years, we have positions within the Whole Foods teams as well. So there's quite a variety of different roles within Amazon. And the one thing I'd really like to, emphasize on this call with you all today is the ability for veterans and military spouses to move laterally within the organization. And for that matter, have a lot of upward mobility provided to them as well. So I can speak from my own personal experience. I've been with Amazon for 4 years, and I'm now on my 4th role at the organization. As a veteran who has recently transitioned, I have really enjoyed the fact that Amazon leadership encourages me to look elsewhere within the organization to find my niche, to find my passion, because oftentimes as veterans, we may not know exactly what we want to do after our time in service. And so to have an employer, to have a company support us internally and allow us to move between roles and experiment and experience a lot of different types of work, I feel that that's a really great value add to those veterans who are, looking to transition from military service or may have already transitioned from military service in the past.
Billy, this is Charlie. Sorry, Greg. I remember you talked to me briefly, and you said there's also a lot of people because of forward deployments, they don't have a chance to go to college. A lot of our enlisted, especially. But you said something about if you have so much time and you have a good record, they take that for college. Could you explain that? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Charlie. And one thing to clarify for the entry-level positions that I support nationwide, but then also specifically in the Boston area, these are positions that do not require a college degree. Many of our positions within Amazon do require a college degree, but for our positions that I support, they do not. So for those who may have enlisted directly after high school, who maybe have not had an opportunity because they've been very busy in their line of work, maybe have not had the opportunity to go back to school, or for those student veterans who are utilizing some of their GI Bill benefits and going back to school currently. This could be a great opportunity for them to experience Amazon, to learn how we do business, to understand the culture of the organization. And you're exactly right, Charlie. After 2 years of working at Amazon, you can actually use that time in service, if you will, to use a military term, use that time of working at Amazon in lieu of having a college degree. So I know many veterans who do not have their college degree, came in one of those associate level roles, and have worked extremely hard, delivered great results for them and their teams, and have now become managers, without necessarily having to go back to school. So we appreciate and understand that, you can come into the organization, do great things, and we want to make sure that we reward that type of performance.
Well, and Billy, if you could describe a lot of we see a lot of ads on television, and we see a lot of Amazon vehicles out on the road. Transportation and delivery seems to be one of the main things that you do. Describe what that job might be like, or the types of opportunities, because I think you might have several different flavors of occupations within the transportation industry, no? The delivery?
Yeah, and Greg, that is definitely a big part of our Amazon business. To be quite honest, I'm not an expert in some of our transportation positions, nor what they may entail. So I may ask for a pass on that, because I would hate to speak out of turn. And so what I'd be more than happy to do, though, is provide yourself and Charlie some information that can direct any veteran or military spouse who is interested in those positions. I'd be more than happy to share that with you after the call, so that we could put it up on the website and make sure that those veterans and spouses who are looking for those types of positions can get the information that they need.
Charlie, sounds like another show to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I counted 15 major partners. I did a sheet on everyone, just a basic, and it was like 6 pages, because they have peer-to-peer support with 2 organizations. They also have people that are mechanics and engineers, because you got to keep the line running, and you can't sit there and go, well, I'll order the part and I'll order it on Amazon. No, they got to keep everything moving 24/7. So they also have the spousal program, like he talked about. There are so many different, there's operations thing, there's all kinds. I sent you that sheet. 15 partners. Every one of those could be a 30-minute show. Wouldn't you say, Billy?
Absolutely. We have a lot of different resources within Amazon that support military talent acquisition, that support military employees while you are actually currently working for Amazon. And so there's a lot of great individuals that, similar to myself, are very passionate about hiring military talent, about supporting the military community, both veterans themselves and military spouses, but also individuals that just have that passion without necessarily having served.
Billy,
one team I'd specifically like to call out is our Global Military Affairs team. That is a central team here at Amazon that helps support not only many of our talent acquisition types of efforts in operations, in AWS, and other arenas, but then also helps support those military members that are currently employed by Amazon. So that is a team that is doing a lot of great work. It's a team that's growing and has been growing over the number of years recently. And so they do a lot of tremendous work in making sure that Amazon is a great place for veterans to land.
Billy, you fit perfectly into this show, because we do what we all do. We talk about everything, how important it is, and we forget to say how to get in touch with you. So you got to tell us how to get in touch with all these organizations. What's the best number? Now, my son-in-law works for Amazon, and he works on Alexa, and he does those X's and O's. He just sits on the computer all day. He tells me for years what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing, but those people are really there, and they're terrific. So, but give us all the information of how our listeners can get in touch with you. And say it slowly, because my friends are writing with a number 2 pencil on a yellow legal pad.
Yes, I'd be more than happy to outline a few different ways to connect with various teams to better understand some of the different roles that we have available for military veterans and spouses. The first thing I'd really like to highlight on this call, and I know, Charlie, you mentioned that this will be up on the website, so if you are listening in, you're unable to take this down, don't worry about it. We'll make sure that the information is available to you. But Amazon does host weekly webinars for the military community. I was actually just taking part in one earlier today. And what's so great about those webinars is that each of the different military recruiting teams, again, whether it's operations or AWS or HR or our air team or some of the other different teams, they'll actually have representatives join the call so that individuals, veterans and military spouses, can join separate breakout rooms and speak directly to the appropriate point of contact. And so we'll definitely make sure that that registration link is provided to all the listeners and make sure that they know when those upcoming webinars are taking place. That's definitely first and foremost. That's a tremendous asset for anyone who's even remotely interested in learning about some of the opportunities at Amazon. One of the other things I would like to highlight and call out for anyone listening today is if you are interested in some of our associate positions within the Boston area, you can simply text BOSS now 4, BOSNOW 4 to 77088, and you'll actually be then signed up to receive job alerts to understand when jobs in your local area are becoming available. So if you happen to live in the Boston area and you're listening to this show, there are going to be plenty of opportunities coming down the pipe in the next few weeks for you to actually apply to. The application is done completely online for those associate positions in as little as 30 minutes. You could have a contingent offer received, and you could begin working in as little as 2 weeks after passing a background check and a drug test.
Wow.
So really, our positions that I support with our workforce staffing team are a great way to get the foot in the door and begin working immediately with Amazon.
Hey, Billy, this is Chuck. Can you speak at all about...
Say again?
That's
Charlie, get in the corner.
Yes,
Get in the corner, Charlie. Look for the bullets.
We lost you there for a second.
I don't know how. I'm too big to lose. I'm in my tank.
He's in the tank. We can't lose him.
So, Billy, what about the, can you talk about the benefits? Say I'm a, young vet, I'm just getting out. I may be able to use the VA for my medical, but what about my wife, my kids? What are the what can you speak at all on the benefits package?
Yeah, for our associate positions, if you start in a full-time capacity, you're going to receive an amazing suite of benefits, very similar to some of the benefits that are going to be available to a lot of other employees. And so we feel very strongly about providing those benefits to our associates, and that can range from dental, health, vision on day one, to parental leave, to paid time off, to 401k with 50% match. So there's going to be a lot of benefits made available to those individuals. One of the other benefits, is an industry-leading $15 an hour wage. Now, also keep in mind, going back to what I mentioned earlier about some of that upward mobility, what I speak to veterans a lot about is thinking about their transition in the long term. If we're thinking about our military transition in a very short period window, it may be easy to focus on, an hourly position or the compensation. Those positions can become, great opportunities for them in the future and turn into salaried positions. Again, if they work hard, produce great results, and, are great team players, of which, again, many of our veterans are. So definitely encourage individuals to take a look at our positions. They do provide great benefits, and the opportunities once you are within the organization only, I think that people will enjoy what there is to come after that.
So, Billy, it sounds like the qualities that you're looking for are just all of the typical veterans qualities that we all know that that make up the veteran, and pretty much it sounds like you have a role for almost anyone, and maybe changing roles if that might be what they want, because I'm sure you allow for, once they're employed, to bid on other jobs and join, get other skills within your organization.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point. One thing I'd definitely like to call out on this call is that Amazon actually has what we call our Amazon leadership principles. This is something that any of the listeners can simply Google. You can find, what those leadership principles are, the definitions of them. And I tell veterans oftentimes that these leadership principles are very familiar to what we learned in our military service, regardless of the branch. I know Charlie and I are Marines, and there's probably a lot of jokes that could be made about that. But point being is that every branch has its ethos. Every branch has leadership principles that they adhere to and that they ingrain into their servicemen and women. And so when a service member decides to leave the military and make a transition into a civilian career, the great thing about Amazon is that those leadership principles that we have are going to be very familiar to them. They're going to be second nature. A lot of what we talk about, learn and be curious. How often when, you're a junior service member, you have to learn your job. You have to ask questions in order to improve your proficiency. And so these are skill sets and leadership traits that we feel very strongly about. We expect our job candidates to embody them. We expect our current employees to embody these leadership principles. And I think that they closely mirror a lot of what our military men and women experience while serving.
And Billy, Charlie, I'll direct this question to either one of you. Do you know the exact locations that Amazon is hiring for right now in the Boston area, Billy?
Well, there's Milford, I know, is one, and there's North Shore has another. There's fulfillment centers down on the South Shore, because that's the plan. Billy's going to speak a little bit about that. But Amazon started early saying, we don't need 4 hubs. We need a hub and regional hubs so that you can do the fly-in echelon and then just go to the distribution center. So everything, you don't have to drive 5 hours in the middle of nowhere. So talk about that. Isn't that what the plan was from a while back?
Yeah, and what I would like to definitely say is that we are hiring in a lot of our different sites across the area in Massachusetts, not necessarily just in Boston itself. But Charlie, you're absolutely right. Milford and Staunton, especially in the coming weeks, are definitely places where we will be hiring, and definitely encourage those individuals in the local community to take a look at those positions. I know that I gave a text code earlier. Another place where veterans and military spouses can go to better learn where positions are available in the Massachusetts area is Amazon.com/Boston hourly jobs. And if you go there, it's going to give you a long list of all the positions that we currently have available.
Perfect.
And one thing I would like to highlight for all the listeners is that list does change. Positions are filled, positions become available. So definitely check that website often. Sign up for the job alerts that I mentioned earlier with the text code. But check out that Amazon.com/Boston hourly jobs. And you'll always have a good understanding of what positions are available and in what cities those positions are available.
Billy,
Hey, Bill, I just wanted to jump real quick. I just wanted to jump off. We got to take a break probably soon.
Yeah, we're a couple minutes away.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, it's funny you mentioned Stoughton, because when I worked at the Career Center in Norwood, about 9 miles away, and I helped stand up all the hiring for that new center in Stoughton, the fulfillment center, and they hired every veteran that I sent them.
Yeah, that was an amazing piece of work. I remember you working over there, Charlie.
Yeah.
And Billy, if I could ask you just a quick question, what would the hiring process be like? Somebody goes to the website, they see a job, they click on it. Approximately how soon would they find out, get a response? Just how, because a lot of times people, I'm reluctant to apply online, but I'm sure you folks really have got the online application process down pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I want to answer it with a two-part kind of answer. The first part, again, applies to the associate positions that I directly support. That's going to be the completely online application. It's going to be filling out basic demographic information. There's a short assessment that an individual will be asked to take. And that application can be done in as little as 30 minutes. No need to rush through it. Obviously, don't encourage you to rush through it, but it is a very quick process, and that's really what I mean to annotate and highlight. From there, that it would be when they would receive a contingent offer, as long as they did everything they needed to do.
Yep.
And then that would be what would jumpstart the background check, some of the new hire orientation, the drug test of that nature.
Yep.
And then in as little as a few weeks, begin working on day one at a Amazon site.
Wow.
Now, the second part of that answer is for any of our positions that are above an entry-level role. That is going to be at Amazon.jobs, will be the overall jobs website for individuals to take a look at. And specifically for the military community, I would recommend that they go to Amazon.jobs/military. And that's going to provide a full suite of not only the entry-level positions that I was talking about earlier, but then also some of our other mid to senior level positions. So if someone has a bachelor's or a master's degree and they're qualified to work in other parts of our business, highly encourage those individuals to take a look at that website. From there, they'll apply online, they'll upload a resume, and if a recruiter will take a look at their resume, if they think they're a good fit, they'll be contacted by a recruiter and then begin the interview process, which really depends on the role. So no need to really go into that too much in depth, but that would be the second part of that answer for you.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well, Billy, I want to thank you very much, and I want to thank you, Charlie, for putting this together. I know Amazon is at the forefront of so many new projects and innovations and leaderships, and I'm really impressed, Billy, with your devotion to the veterans market. With 30,000 veterans employed, you're really not only talking about it, but you're doing it as well.
Well, I just play a small part in the big puzzle, but happy to be even playing a small part. I feel very strongly about supporting fellow veterans and military spouses. And I personally believe that Amazon's a great organization to work with. I've been here for 4 years. I've done a lot of great things, worked with great people. And, when I was leaving the Marine Corps, a little nervous about leaving such a tight-knit family of the Corps. But I can tell you right now that Amazon's a great place for veterans. I feel very strongly that it's a place that welcomes veterans, appreciates veterans, and values what we bring to the table.
Well, Billy, and I think that New England also appreciates its veterans and respects its veterans. And welcome to our family of networks here. Charlie can talk to you about what we've done over the past 20 years of working here. And we've got a great family and a great network. And, we hope that we can, kind of help each other out. And I think you've just got some great opportunities and would provide veterans and their families some nice benefits, great steady occupations, and room for growth. So, Billy, thank you so much again, and we look forward to having you on. Let's keep up and keep in touch. And Charlie, I'm sure you'll keep us posted with whatever we need to know.
Yep, and I'm going to work with Courtney to get some operational regional people to be on the show.
Perfect.
And get the national people.
Perfect, and get them involved in the trade shows. Billy, we do a lot of events, special events and stuff. We'd like you to be a partner of us and to help attract the veterans. We have events that we attract from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 veterans and their families. So we'd love to have your participation and welcome you to join us.
Well, Thank you for letting me be a part of today's show. I look forward to staying connected to everyone, and thank you all for the great work that you're doing in Boston and all of New England. I know that all of our fellow veterans and military spouses appreciate the work that you're doing as well.
Ben, Billy, next time you're in Boston, make sure it's on a Thursday night, and we'll clear out the schedule and bring you in for the night.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Okay, Billy. Well, you have a good night out there, and be safe, and thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us tonight.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Very good. Thanks, Billy.
Bye.
Charlie, are you going to stay on for a minute to talk about your Yeah,
I do my.
yeah, we're gonna take a break now, and when we come back, we'll talk about your big event you got going on tomorrow.
That's right.
Sounds great, Charlie. Thanks a lot, Ben. Take us away, and we'll hear from our sponsors and get back to see what else Charlie has up his sleeve. No bullets, of course.
Eligible for TRICARE? It doesn't get better than U.S. Family Health Plan, a terrific TRICARE choice for military families and retirees. You get all the benefits of TRICARE, plus some great extras like chiropractic care and a 24-hour nurse advice line. With U.S. Family Health Plan's large network of civilian physicians and hospitals, it's easy to find a great doctor. It's free for active duty families, and for military retirees, it's very affordable. Find out more at usfamilyhealth.org or call 1-888-815-5510. That's 1-888-815-5510.
Welcome back, everybody. Gregg Brasso, your host of Veterans Voice Radio here, breaking some new ground, talking with Charlie Duquette and Billy Knapp, calling from out in Seattle. Charlie, that was very dynamic. Billy speaks very well.
Yes, that usually officers do that very well.
Yeah, Marine officers, Charlie, though, we got to take advantage.
But what I was going to say was we just touched the hem of the garment, like we talked off air. There's 15 different partners and programs. Any one of them could be a 25-minute podcast, and they're a great group. And with Veterans Inc. being in every state of New England, we have a good, as well as you do, as far as teaming up. I have 4,000 plus networking contacts. You probably have more than that. And Chuck's got a few. And I think altogether, they'd be they're a national network. They're really over 30,000 veterans.
Yeah, that's big number.
How many people, Gregg, you've been around for a long time. How many companies promise to be vet friendly? Well, we're going to hire this many, and they never do. This was the first thing that I had when we did the Northeastern show, and I got asked to leave. You remember that?
Yeah.
And the question was, what do you consider, what do you think a vet-friendly company is? Well, without a doubt, it's in the action, not the talk.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm loving to partner with an organization, the number 2 Fortune 500 company in the world right now. And the only one bigger than them is Walmart, and they made $281 billion in 2019, and they're going to 22% growth. They're going to go to 34% because of the COVID. And we talked about it. If you live in Kathmandu, Montana, everything's got to go by Amazon. Go ahead, Gregg. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, Charlie. No, it's going by Amazon. They're growing by leaps and bounds. And once you get involved there, just by their technology. As you are there, you're going to absorb their new technology as they develop it. So it's really like on-the-job training, because you're going to be in the warehouse doing whatever you're going to be doing for $15 an hour. But hopefully, Charlie, that's going to be a stepping stone to, to doing something else and watching somebody else lift boxes. And now you're making $20 or $25, or you're a shift leader, or you're a whatever it might be. So I think with 30,000 veterans, there's some room for improvement there, and lots of camaraderie, as Chuck talks about, that, gee, you're having a bad day, well, maybe somebody else can, you got a buddy there or somebody else you can count on.
Right. And Gregg, we've talked about this at so many job fairs that we've been at, both sides of the table, right? And people go, oh, I'm not going to work for that much money. I said, what are you looking at? They said, oh, $15. I can't live on that. I said, but you got to look at the package.
Yeah.
They just 401k. They have family leave, paid time off, all of that stuff. So you never look at just how much you're making. You look at what is the package. What if you have 2 weeks from day one off?
Charlie, you think they have much overtime available?
Yeah, I remember in Stoughton, the guy was saying, no, if they want to work, 20 hours overtime, double time and a half,
Yeah.
they can. And a lot, veterans are. We're day on, stay on. You don't sit there and go, oh, it's after 5. I have to punch out in the middle of this firefight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, there you are. Okay, we got you now. We got a little frog in our gullet here, Charlie.
Did you lose me for a second?
Oh, now you're back. Now you're back on, sounding as handsome as ever. All right.
Okay, I was just saying that you never look at just how much per hour.
Sure.
Because somebody said, I'll give you a truck, I'll pay for your truck, I'll give you gas, I'll insure it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about you. But
Yeah. But see, that's a different division. What Billy does, that's he didn't. When I asked him about that, we could have a show just on the transportation end of things. I think, Charlie.
Right, and I was watching a Rich Neal commercial. We were talking off air.
Yeah.
And the Amazon driver, he started one truck. He has 150 trucks now.
Yeah.
150. Now, obviously, it's independent contractor. They still have supportive programs. But right there, if you want to hustle, you make as much as you want to. And there's a lot of hustling veterans out there.
And so you get to use your entrepreneurial spirit to build and manage your own miniature fleet, so to speak, which is what you're doing.
And they have online entrepreneur sales teams.
Yep.
That Amazon, it's like an Amazon store online, plus whatever else they want to add. It's their own little shipping and UPS, to use an example, type of store, but it's all together. So
Sure.
They sell things online, they exchange things. It's a marketplace, and they have their own entrepreneur shop. It's like a franchise, though, because they teach you what you need to do and what you need to have.
So, Charlie, tomorrow you got something going on out in Worcestertown. What's up tomorrow? You got a bunch of people coming in.
Yes, we have a VA approved, but they're not going to participate. But we are getting the vet center van there. They're going to cordon off the street right around our headquarters on 69 Grove Street, and we're expecting Ecosystems is going to be there. Single 88 Security, Heavy Construction Academy. I forgot how many, but the whole site, everything's outside. It's going to be a beautiful day.
And what is it? It's a stand down, Charlie, but with an employment flavor to it as well?
We're going to have veteran service providers and employers, and we're going, once they make all the rounds with the tables, then they get their whatever they need, whether we're going to give them food, we're going to give them backpacks full of stuff. We're going to, it's a really great thing to help veterans that are struggling with everybody else. To make them get, but also their family, their wives. If they're all looking for employment, we have women in families programs. We have HVRP, which is for housing. We have people facing eviction. They can go to the SSVF or me. I can see anybody and help them with employment and training. So we have some veteran-owned businesses like Ecosystems, like Single 88, going to talk vet to vet and hire people right on the spot.
Now, Charlie, what's your address again?
I'm sorry, it's 69 Grove Street, Worcester, Mass.
And what's the time frame, Charlie?
9 o'clock. It's going to get 9 to 3. Obviously, the employers and vet providers are going to be there a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And they're going to everybody's going to queue up and register. We're going to have mask and distancing, and if they don't have a mask, we'll give them mask. And basically they queue up, they go through the line. It's all one way. It's no backflow. So they get a box lunch, they get clothing, whatever they need, boots, shoes, sneakers, you name it. They've got all these bags already made up. And they can meet and loiter with a little bit of time with employers, get the information on services. They register, they put down things, their contact information, what they're looking for, whether it's housing, whether it's employment, whatever. It might be, we're the only, as you know, recovery center that's licensed and certified community and veteran based in the country. That's in Independence Hall in Shrewsbury, where I teach career development too. So whatever services you need, or if we don't have somebody there, which is going to be rare, we know somebody, like our motto.
Yep.
If we don't know somebody, our network does.
We know somebody. Well, Charlie, it sounds like Grove Street in Worcester tomorrow from 9 to 3 is the space you want to be. And Charlie, I hate to say, we gotta cut for our last break here, buddy. But that was great work hooking up with Amazon. Veterans Inc. must be real happy that you're providing a lot of jobs. I think that appeal to the associates of Veterans Inc., I'd say.
We have 45 openings right now.
Wow.
45 in New England.
Wow.
Charlie, let me give you a good plug for Amazon. I taught first aid course there, and we met Dane Miller, who was right out of the services. You know, he was struggling to readjust, and Amazon helped him readjust. He's worked himself up the ladder, and you actually probably met him at the, and Chuck and Greg, at the Quincy Music Festival. He came down and helped out for a little while, and I just texted him, made you think, and how you doing? He says, I'm working like a dog. He's working himself up the ladder. So there's proof right there. You guys helped a vet get hired, and he's doing great.
With no college education necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Greg, I just want to point out, if you get to the Worcester WTRA Transportation Authority, you'll get a free shuttle bus from the bus station or the train station right to and from Grove Street.
Very cool. All right, buddy. Well, Charlie, good luck tomorrow. I hope you have a nice day and a great turnout. And, take care of Eric from Ecosystems. I know he's looking forward to seeing you again.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, Charlie. Take care, buddy.
See you later, Charlie.
Take care. That was the one and only Charlie, No Bullets, Duquette, calling in from west of somewhere. I don't know if he's in Chicopee or Ludlow.
I heard some pig squealing.
There was some cows. Yeah, there was some cows. Yeah.
We got to take a break because Chuck's got some sobering information for us.
Yeah, we've been talking about, just employment, which is all happening. But, as we're learning, this COVID has some long-reaching tentacles. And Ben, why don't you take us away, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some talk and see what we need to do. Thanks, folks. We'll be right back.
Eligible for TRICARE? It doesn't get better than U.S. Family Health Plan, a terrific TRICARE choice for military families and retirees. You get all the benefits of TRICARE, plus some great extras like chiropractic care and a 24-hour nurse advice line. With U.S. Family Health Plan's large network of civilian physicians and hospitals, it's easy to find a great doctor. It's free for active duty families, and for military retirees, it's very affordable. Find out more at usfamilyhealth.org or call 1-888-815-5510. That's 1-888-815-5510.
It's Jeffrey. Let's speculate on how the Republicans and Democrats finally agreed on something. Bob, I think Massachusetts has too much money coming in. What should we do? Charlie, I don't think we can do much else. Bob, I know. Let's give hundreds of millions of dollars away to New Hampshire. Boy, Charlie, that's a great idea. I got a sweet little condo on Winnipesaukee. Besides, the people in Massachusetts won't even notice the crappy roads, the broken down trains, the crumbling bridges. Drunk drivers don't need lines to see where they're going. Besides, we know what's best for the taxpayers in Massachusetts. It's not just about the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue going bye-bye. It's the jobs, the small businesses, the mom and pop shops, gone, out of business. It isn't right. This ad was paid for by Brennan's Smoke Shop.
Welcome back, everybody. Gregg Brasso, your host of Veterans Voice Radio, here with sitting here with Chuck and with Wolfe, and as we're moping along and getting by. We got basketball games being canceled. We have baseball games being canceled, and hockey. You know, and one of the, was it American Airlines, or one of the airlines just announced that they're gonna
two of them
furlough 20 or 30,000 people.
Yeah.
The layoffs are going to be really, really deep.
A million people filed for unemployment last week.
I am dealing with our company, by the way. My company, Premier Fence Company, is in Canton. We're looking for help. Boy, we've got some business going on. But you know what we're seeing, Chuck, is that the construction industry is losing factories.
Right.
And there's no raw materials. There's no pressure-treated lumber around.
Right, exactly.
Lumber,
period.
Period. It's amazing that, and it's going to really start to hit home. So many people are going to be laid off, but certainly at the top of the headlines over this whole period were the problems that were out there at Holyoke and the veterans population in general. But you have some sobering numbers that you were just mentioning, Chuck.
Yeah. The latest report since COVID-19 has hit the U.S.
When was that? February?
March. That's how far back these stats go. 2,500 U.S. military have died by COVID-19.
Said active duty.
Active duty. Yeah, that's what I said.
Healthy, active duty people.
Yep.
Holy shit.
2,500 have died.
That's so sad.
And they're reporting an estimated 3,000 veterans have died by suicide in that same time frame. Because they're locked in the house, they can't get out, they can't get with the people that they talk to all the time, which are their brothers and sisters, they're other vets, because everything locked down.
Yep.
They lost that camaraderie.
Yep.
And that's it. So this pandemic is not just ruining people's jobs.
Sports seems so inconsequential.
Absolutely. And Greg, you know, I'm a huge sports fan.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, especially, it wouldn't bother me to see all sports shut down until there's a vaccine.
Yeah.
Until there's a vaccine. You know, but when you think about they estimate, you know, the bigwigs that 22 veterans a day die by suicide. My numbers, as you know, are a lot higher because they don't take into consideration overdoses, one-car accidents. So when I do trainings out there, that's what I use, a higher number, because I know for a fact that veterans have died by suicide because they couldn't get the help that they were looking for.
Sure.
But 2,500 of military personnel dying from COVID-19.
Wow.
And
Oh my God.
just think of how big some of these military bases are. What they're doing daily
There's nothing
training.
like that around here, Chuck. It's hard for us even to imagine if you've not been out of this region. I mean, you know, we have Fort Devens that's like a little pimple compared to some of the forts in Texas.
You have Hanscom, you have Otis, you know, down the Cape, you know, Cape Cod Joint Base. But when you have Fort Hood, Texas, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Parris Island, you know, Fort Hood, California, you know, where there's thousands and thousands of veterans.
We've got nothing even close to that here.
Right. It's unthinkable.
Unthinkable is the right word.
You know, because you don't hear that. You don't hear about how many military personnel are dying from this.
I haven't heard
this pandemic.
I heard that we all heard about the captain of the aircraft carrier that was demoted because he complained because they weren't doing enough.
Exactly.
But that was it. It's been kept very, very quiet.
Right. You can't hide an aircraft carrier. That's why, you know, people heard about that.
Yeah, I guess that's a little bit difficult. Yeah.
You know, but this information was sent out by Dr. David Shulkin, who used to be He used to be the secretary of the VA.
Yes, that's how I know that name.
Right.
All right.
Now he's not, he's not involved with it anymore, but he's constantly still doing
He's
things.
watchdogging it?
Absolutely. Between the suicides, prevention, and one of the things he talks about is, he throws in there about peers, That's on being able to be with their peers. And it's so true, talking about the coffees as we do, and that's one of the big things about the coffees.
Yeah.
And we're going to be getting ready to start another virtual coffee, and this one's going to be in the afternoon, and it's going to be hosted by myself and somebody else that I work with, Hector, who's also the part-time VSO over in Braintree, Hector Arena, and him and I are going to be doing these coffees.
Part-time VSO in Braintree?
Yes.
Do they not have a full-time?
They haven't fulfilled that position yet.
Oh, okay.
One, because town hall's closed. So why not just pay somebody part-time right now? Yeah, she's in Cambridge now. Cynthia Harris, yeah. So Hector used to work with her.
Okay.
Now he's just... But, again, it's about giving the vets an outreach to something.
Sure.
Try to get some type of camaraderie.
Well, it'll be real interesting, Chuck. I'm sure once you start your coffees back up, I know that you're going to build back up again, because every town that was running them seemed to have a lot of success building.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a real shame that this all had to get derailed, but, I'm sure the need is still there.
Absolutely.
It hasn't gone away.
No. Nope.
And your numbers about suicide, we have to have Jenny Babcock on. We haven't had a show with her on recently. We need to discuss it, especially. I think she's getting some new information and new numbers that aren't as old anymore. I think she said that the last time, that her data stream, it was now not as old. So we need to have her on. But I don't know, Chuck, this problem of mental health within the veterans community is something that I think is not being paid enough attention to.
Right. And, they're trying to do all this stuff by, virtual.
Yeah.
But the vets that I work with, they want to come in. They want face-to-face. They want to sit down and talk to somebody, not on a screen, so.
Yeah, but, Chuck, your vets haven't got a sore finger. They haven't got a sore toe. They may not have a foot.
Right.
They may not have a leg. And no offense to people that do telehealth, but, they may have a different need set or a different want set. And maybe that veteran that's a little introverted inside himself doesn't really let himself out to a camera.
Oh, exactly.
Like you would to a person looking at you straight in the eye.
Right.
Maybe he's got a tear in his eye.
Yeah.
Or she has a tear in her eye.
Sure.
But I know, Chuck, you see it all. But there must be some words of encouragement, Chuck, that you can give to the people out there. Unfortunately, we got Dr. Joe is following up and giving his salute to us all. But Chuck, you have a message that never stops ringing true.
To all the veterans out there, don't do it. Don't do it tonight. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it. Get the thoughts out of your head. Life will be better. Make a phone call. Talk to somebody that wants to talk to you and help you. Call 1-800-273-8255. Call the Veterans Crisis Line.
Wolfie, I understand you're out there. You're feeding the world, brother. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. And Ben's been a big help. WMEX has been getting the word out, all the phone numbers.
We haven't mentioned the Ivy Justice, the Halls of Justice.
Halls of Justice, baby. Ben is rocking it.
Always never better. If I may quote the illustrious Mr. Justice. Well, Ben, thanks a lot for putting us together, zooming us around tonight. Wolfie, Chuck, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Perry, for allowing us to bring the message out there. And next week we're going to make some great announcements. We got some podcasts to announce and some other great events coming on with Veterans Voice. So everybody have a nice week. Just go out and be safe.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
Stay off the phone when you're driving.
And folks, we can't party right now. We gotta stay home for a little while.
Parties, no
It's just for a couple of weeks. We just gotta suck it up. So Ben, have a good night. Stay tuned for Dr. Joe, and we'll be here same bat time, same bat station next week. Everybody, take care. You have a great week. Bye bye all.